owner and CEO of our new pro team up in New York, Jeff Ahn. The owner has actually come to fruition, another pro team in New York, and it's it's an independent team, and the New York Rise will be playing this season in an affiliate, kind of an affiliation of independent teams. Can you explain that to our listeners and our viewers on why this route that the New York Rise is going into an affiliation of independent teams?
Sure. No, that's a great question. I'm following a bit in the footsteps of the Oklahoma City Spark team with Tina Floyd. It was just a lot easier to get this team off of the ground by becoming an independent team. There's just less rules. There really isn't a league that's easy to get into at this point, and we're all starting out right now at this point. So we want more teams. We want more opportunities for women to be able to play beyond college. And there were not, in addition to our team, the New York Rise, and the Oklahoma City Spark, there were also two other like-minded independent teams out there that we all came together and said, let's do this. Let's get some games on the calendar. Let's give an opportunity for women to play at a high level beyond college. And so those other two teams are Florida Vibe and the Tennessee Steam. So the Tennessee Steam is a new team just forming, similar to the New York Rise.
So let's get into that. First game for the New York Rise will be on June 19th against Oklahoma City, the Spark in Chattanooga at Frost Stadium. You just introduced the four affiliate teams that will be playing one another. Let's talk about how that kind of came about. So the Steam will be in Chattanooga, then the Rise will be in New York.
Yep.
The Vibe will be playing out of Florida, right? And
Yep.
Oklahoma will be in Oklahoma City.
Hall of Fame Stadium. That's right.
And have you got where will your team be playing the Rise in New York?
Tara, that's a good question. We will be in Long Island, New York. That's all I can say at this point. We'll likely be in Nassau County, for those that are familiar with that area. We're very close to finalizing our field details. So we're gonna have to announce that in about a few weeks is my estimate.
All right, Jeff. We'll let you we'll wait a bit for that. So stay tuned for where the Rise will be playing and the coaching staff. So coaching staff that's listed on the website. I want to talk a little bit about this team and who you have leading the Rise. Roddy McRae, Crash, will be leading the Rise, and then Tony Marie Valeriano and Lisa Lanchin as well. Can you give me an idea of those three that you have on staff?
Yes. All right. So Crash you won't find a more positive guy on a field, and I've known Crash a long time here, so I really want to give him an opportunity to do this. He is, if you don't know Crash, he's on YouTube. Crash McRae running through a wall. But this guy was a former New York Met. He played for the Chicago White Sox as well. He has two kids that are they're amazing talents. One is a high prospect and within the San Francisco Giants organization, Grant, and his daughter Sydney plays for the Grand Canyon University. So she's an up and coming star as well. So he can raise talent. And I really want to round it out with people that have dedicated their lives to this game. So Tony Marie is a local hero. She's a pitching coach. She works with young talents on Long Island. Just a guru on the pitching circle. And Lisa is I think her resume within the NPF and Cal and she's done it all. She's been a player, a manager, a general manager. And she's still dedicating a ton of her time towards teaching this game. So it's a unique group, extremely positive group, and people that really want to take this game forward.
And I want to get into how this all kind of started. I just was reading various articles around the new team, and Mets legend Mookie Wilson is part of the Long Island executive team, so part of this team. So I want to kind of get at the bottom of it now that we've kind of laid the landscape on what the team's going to look like. How did this all start for you?
Yeah, and I'll get into Mookie, but for me, I've always been I've always had a passion for sports, whether it's as a fan, an athlete, or a coach, coaching my kids, and after coaching 5 years of baseball with my son, I just started to get into softball. It was time for me to start coaching my daughter in softball. and I was just around the game. And we were watching the College World Series when she was about 10 years old, and I believe it was Oklahoma versus Florida State in 2021. And she was a 10-year-old at the time, power pitcher. She actually ended up wearing the same glasses that Giselle Juarez wore, on Oklahoma. And I was like, man, and I noticed she was starting to copy her and do things and start, picking up some of the habits that we were seeing on TV. And we just had an awesome time watching the College World Series. And if anything, when it was over, it was more like, man, I wish there was more. I wish that some of these players could continue following beyond college. So, I looked around, there really just wasn't options there. So I felt like it was a little depressing to not have that. But then, on January 1st, 2023, I woke up one morning and I see an article about Tina Floyd starting a new team in Oklahoma City. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I looked at her roster and it looked like Jocelyn Allo was on the roster. And I was like, oh, wow, this is it. I got to take my daughter to see Jocelyn Allo. So at that point, it was more of a pipe dream, but I was like, let me try to get a pro team to New York. I think that it would be incredible here. It fills a need and it allows other people to play. And if anything, it creates role models for young women, especially my daughter and others to try to copy. I know when I look back at my heroes, they're all former Major League Baseball players. Most of them are on the New York Mets, but they're people I looked up to, and I feel like my daughter should have the same opportunity as well as others.
So you have this idea to start this pro team, and obviously, Jeff, our history with our pro team in the sport of softball.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
What makes the Rise and this affiliate league and this collection of independent teams any different? And what can our fans expect to see? Because I think, we've seen this happen numerous times, and there was the MPF and then the WPF, and now there's another independent league. What can fans look forward to, and why should we believe in this new league?
No, I agreed. I almost think the independent route is a path forward to eliminate some of that red tape to try and bring this sport forward. So what I did is I knew, it went from passion, pipe dream to, all right, this has to have some legs to stand on from a business perspective. So I went out and recruited close friends, colleagues with wide, diverse business backgrounds. I have a lawyer on my team. I have a real estate mogul. I have a hotel operator. I have a marketing professional. I have Mookie Wilson, and people that I trust and have known for years. And I know the local area around Long Island, and as a fan, coach, parent, whatever. And so I wanted to loop in as many allies in this to really take this forward. I've gotten tremendous positive feedback so far for those people I've looped in, and I've read the articles recently about this team. And no, I think if it's done right, there's tremendous potential and upside, and ideally more teams follow. And that's what we're trying to do is recruit more teams. We want other teams to do this. I'm trying to help other teams get an idea of what our economics could be to make sure that there's an opportunity to play, not just for 2024, but for many years beyond 2024. So yes, Tara, it's an uphill climb. We're not there yet, but I think we will be there. And I am optimistic about the future prospects about this.
And we talked about your coaching staff. We talked about potentially where the games will be played for the Rise. Have you signed a player yet? Do you have any players? And where can players who are interested, what should they do? How should they contact you?
Got it. So our website is thenewyorkrise.com. We just unleashed it. So the scripts will start working like they should be. But if not, just type in thenewyorkrise.com. We do have a player. I'm not going to announce her name at this point in time.
Oh, come on, Jeff.
Can't do it. Can't do it yet. It's because you have to follow our social medias. But we're hoping to finalize our field location, to share that first, and then we will start sharing players, and then it'll be a fun follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And so we're going to try to create a ton of buzz. In terms of how the roster will look, it'll probably be a combination of current pros that have graduated college, and also this upcoming graduating class has a ton of talent. And so we're looking at all the talent coming out at the end of this year. So in June, you may see a bunch of rapid fire posts about, hey, we just signed this person and that person and this next person. So it's going to be really exciting right before we start up in June 19th in Tennessee.
So the teams, you can check out the schedule for the New York Rise, and Jeff isn't giving us really anything other than the website and the schedule. So again, they will start on June 19th with an opening game with Oklahoma City Spark. Then they'll play the Chattanooga Steam. Now, the Chattanooga Steam is also a new affiliate team. Jeff, can you give us it is the Higdons. I hear Jeremy Higdon is involved. So for all of those of our club and travel ball squads, the Higdons are jumping into the pro side. But can you talk a little bit about your conversations that you've had with Tony and Jeremy Higdon and Ryan Moore, who's the owner of the Vibe?
Yeah, it was inspiring and refreshing. We all ended up meeting in a boardroom in Tennessee, kind of impromptu. The Higdons hosted everyone to come on down, and we sat in a room. We talked about the rules. We talked about what we all wanted for this sport, and it was just a group of like-minded independent teams that said, you know what, this is what we should do, and this is how we should treat this game, and this is how we should collectively work towards our goals here. So it's a start of something. We felt like it was, there was something special going on there, and hopefully it'll go on to something bigger and better in the future.
Well, I know that as a person and part of the softball community, I'm just excited that more girls and women are going to have an opportunity. Girls are going to have an opportunity to dream and to become a professional softball player. And women that are currently playing the sport have the ability to hopefully sign one day with the New York Rise and be able to play in front of large crowds like they do at the Women's College World Series. But Jeff, I'll keep it short just as an intro to this, but anything else you want to add about what we can look forward to with the New York Rise?
Yeah, I would say the one thing I'm really super excited about is also just the fan experience. In addition to just the competition is going to be tremendous to bring some of these talents from all over the country to New York. But now I'm also a fan of other sports, and to me, I think the fan experience is a big part of this. And so even a non-softball fan ideally will go to a game and say, wow, that was awesome. I enjoyed that, or I like the mascot, or I got shot at with a T-shirt, or whatever it is. We're gonna try to keep it, beyond softball, and that's. I'm not saying we're gonna be the Savannah Bananas, but we're gonna try to keep it fun for the whole family and just really entertaining and interactive with everybody. So that's an angle that I can have some control around, and I'm excited about that part of it.
And this fan experience, can you explain what that means to our softball fans and viewers? Because what can they expect? Like, what type of a fan experience is it going to be?
Yeah, I mean, just to give you some insight, maybe we'll have like a hit track and have some of the pros interact a bit more, during the pre games. Hopefully, there's some comedy involved in the crowds. Just gonna mix it up a little bit, and we're gonna get creative within the executive team to see what we would want to do. But the idea here is we're gonna try to make it just an incredible experience, and really it's connectivity with other club teams locally and around the New York metro area. Bring them down and really be able to have some connection with the players and see it live. We don't really have that opportunity in New York. I mean, there are some very good college teams here, but so seeing it at the pro level it just doesn't exist up here.
Well, I'm excited. I'm going to have to take a trip out to New York to watch a game at whatever field it might be, and we'll have to keep an eye on the socials for the New York Rise. You can check out the website. It's the New York Rise. Make sure you just type in the New York Rise and follow the New York Rise on all the social channels. And Jeff, where can we get in contact with you in case we maybe have a player or a fan or a supporter that wants to know more about the New York Rise?
So we do have a submittable form on that in the website, but it's info@thenewyorkrise.com. If you're an interested player, yes, we are still looking to fill out our rosters. We're excited about this upcoming college season. And Tara, I will probably be on your website checking out stats and all that good stuff. So, please reach out, and we're excited. We're excited about what's coming in 2024.
Well, I was checking on the merch tab, and I can't wait to get a New York Rise T-shirt. So
Tara, I'll hook you up. Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, I love it. Well, Tara Henry here on the Softball America podcast for Jeff Ahn, the owner of the new pro team up in New York. Excited to see this thing take off. Jeff, thank you so much for joining me this week on the Softball America podcast.
Tara, thank you very much.